Hello everyone, welcome back to the e-learning space of MGM Higher Secondary School, Bokaro. This is the first video for lesson number 14 of Class 8 English Grammar. Lesson number 14 is titled More Sentences. In lesson number 1, you have learned that there are 4 different types of sentences: declarative, interrogative, exclamatory, and imperative. In this lesson, we are going to learn what are the other kinds of sentences besides these 4 types. Dear students, based on the sentence structure, there are 3 different types of sentences that we are going to learn today: simple sentences, compound sentences, and complex sentences. Now the question arises, what are simple sentences? A very basic sentence that contains just one independent clause. What is an independent clause? It is a group of words that expresses a complete thought and can stand alone as a sentence. For example, Leslie will sing in the talent show. Joe camped with his Boy Scout troop. Aaron draws very well. If you look at these sentences, they have an independent clause, one subject, one predicate, and their meanings are quite complete on their own. They do not need the support of a different clause or a more extended part of a sentence. After that definition, children, let us see some of the examples of simple sentences. Here are 20 examples for you. She doesn't use a computer. It snows a lot in winter in Russia. If you go through all these sentences, you will see they are all just one independent clause with one subject and a predicate. They do not need the support of something else to make their meaning complete. Now, what are compound sentences? A sentence that contains 2 or more independent clauses. They are called compound sentences. These independent clauses are usually joined to each other by a comma and a conjunction, especially a coordinating conjunction. For example, Leslie will sing in the talent show and we expect her to win first place. So Leslie will sing in the talent show. This is one independent clause. If we ignore the comma and the coordinating clause and read the second part of the sentence as an independent sentence, we see that it also is an independent clause. We expect her to win first place. However, when they're joined together with the help of a coordinating conjunction, they become a compound sentence. Look at the next example. Joe camped with his Boy Scout troop, but they had to come home early. So the first clause, Joe camped with his Boy Scout troop. Quite an independent sentence, an independent clause, meaning is complete, one subject, one predicate. They had to come home early. Even this is an independent clause, one subject, one predicate, and meaning is complete. But they are joined together with the help of a comma and a coordinating conjunction that makes them one complete sentence with 2 independent clauses. Hence, they are compound sentence. Look at the third example. Aaron draws very well, so he was selected to enter the poster contest. Read the first part. Aaron draws very well. An independent clause with one subject, one predicate, meaning is complete. Read the second part. He was selected to enter the poster contest. Even this part of the sentence is an independent clause, A single subject, a single predicate, and meaning is complete. But when they are joined together with the help of a comma and a coordinating conjunction, so they become one single sentence, which is a compound sentence. Here are some examples for you of compound sentences. Mary doesn't like cartoons because they are loud, so she doesn't watch them. I want to lose weight, yet I eat chocolate daily. So, here are 5 examples of compound sentences for you. What are complex sentences? A complex sentence has an independent clause and at least one dependent clause. Look at the example here. When the cake is brown, comma, take it out of the oven. Now, when the cake is brown, if I speak of this part of the sentence independently, you will see the meaning here is incomplete. Because the question comes to our mind, when the cake is brown, what happens when the cake is brown? Or what are you going to tell me when the cake is brown? So this is a dependent clause. This part of the sentence cannot stand alone as an independent sentence. Take it out the oven. This is an independent clause. This part of the sentence can stand on its own without depending on any other part of the sentence. And they're separated from each other with the help of a comma. Hence, a complex sentence is formed. So once again, what is a complex sentence? A dependent clause and an independent clause together are called complex sentences. Now remember, there can be more than one dependent clauses in one complex sentence. Children, here are some examples of complex sentences for you. When he handed in his homework, he forgot to hand the teacher the last page. So when he handed in his homework, this part of the sentence sounds incomplete if I use it independently or if I use it separately. It needs the next part, the main clause, or you can say the independent clause, to make the complete sense. Look at the second sentence. The human brain never stops working until you stand up to speak in public. Now this part of the sentence, the human brain never stops working. If I use this separately, it is a complete sentence on its own. However, if I speak of the next part separately, like until you stand up to speak in public, the meaning is incomplete. You would ask, what? What happens until you stand up to speak in public? So they're joined together with the help of the conjunction until, and they are a complex sentence. Similarly, you have rest of the examples here. Even though she suffered from arthritis, she studied hard because she wanted to go to medical school in London. Because Alex and Michael arrived at the bus station before noon, I did not see them at the station. Before the bell rang, the children packed up and the teacher collected their work. All these are examples of complex sentences. They have one independent clause and at least one dependent clause. Now, these sentences, how can we combine them together? We can combine two simple sentences that are related by making a compound sentence, by simply adding a conjunction between them and replace the period of the first sentence with the comma. Period means full stop. Leslie will sing in the talent show. We expect her to win first place. This was two simple sentences. Now to join them into a compound sentence, all we have to do is Leslie will sing in the talent show, comma, we are removing the full stop, and then we are using a coordinating conjunction and we expect her to win first place. This has changed our two simple sentences into one compound sentence. Similarly, Joe camped with his Boy Scout troop. They had to come early. These are two simple sentences. If we make them into a compound sentence, we are going to remove the full stop or the period in the first simple sentence with a comma. We are going to use a coordinating conjunction but and then join them together. Joe camped with his Boy Scout troop, but they had to come home early. See the third statement. Aaron draws well. He was selected to enter the poster contest. Aaron draws well, comma, so he was selected to enter the poster contest. So here are three different examples of how you can use a comma and a coordinating conjunction to make two separate simple sentences into one compound sentence. This brings us to the end of our first video on more sentences, that is simple, compound and complex. In our next video on this lesson, we are going to go through the grammar textbook and the textual exercises. Till then, children, thank you and take care.